Hi everybody, Coach Susan here with Big on Results Coaching. I help people that are in transition or stuck to live a life of joy and prosperity. And I'm here for your Manifestation Monday video on the topic of essentials. Are you carrying around your essentials? Did you know that you probably need some essentials? What essentials do you have that you are bringing into your life? What essentials do you need to go on this journey of life? Did you know that you even needed essentials? Sometimes we think that we are the byproduct of our environment. We are like this because this thing happened to us. We're like this because our environment is conducive to this. We are this way because of our experiences. Yes and no. But when we have essentials, our essentials, those things that we need to progress forward, to continue on our journey and on our path, those are the essentials that I'm talking about. The essentials that you need to prosper. The essentials that you need to have a great life. There's actually essentials. It's like a nice recipe, and it changes frequently. So we have things that happen to us, and then we need to adjust the recipe. We need to adjust and create an element of balance or counterbalance to things and to situations that have occurred to us. But it is in those essentials that helps us to go through life without injury, go through life without getting depleted or having enormous amount of hardships. We are going to experience that bump in the road. Every path has a bump in the road, or two, or three, or several. But it's learning what to do with those bumps in the road and how to avoid them. And then if you hit them, what to do? What is your response? And it would be highly favorable if you hit a bump in the road and you didn't even feel it. So having those essentials is how we are going to deal with things in life that creates a greater pleasure to us so we can enjoy the ride. So what are your essentials? What do you got? What's in that bag? Do you have kindness? Because sometimes when we carry around and we harbor bitterness, it's kind of hard to have a lot of things that we really need. So if you think, well, oops, I have a little bit of this negative thing or that little negative thing, get rid of it. Get rid of it so that you will have that space inside your essential bag for the great stuff, the great things, the caring, the consideration, the kindness, those type of essentials. But then you also need essentials like endurance, adversity, stick-to-itness, understanding. There's a lot of essentials. Are you an understanding person? Do you seek first to understand before you pose a judgment on something? Are you even judging? What are you doing? Are you an opinionated person? Were you aware that an opinion is actually a form of judgment? So what are those essentials? Do you have a lot of essentials that are similar to love? Do you care? How deep do you care? What does that feel like? What does that look like to you? Did you know that you should care? But you need to care with boundaries. So what are your essentials? What are you good at? Are you good to adhering to boundaries? Are you good to sticking up for yourself? Are you good at speaking up for yourself? Are you good with speaking your truth? What does that look like? Is that an essential? You know, sometimes when somebody comes on your path, it is essential to say, what? Wait a minute. I didn't invite you here on my path. I'm on this journey solo. I'm enjoying this. And that is okay. What are your essentials? Do you have abundant supply of what? What do you have? What is in there? Do you harbor guilt? Do you feel guilty of certain situations? Do you have things that you haven't let go in the past? Are you holding on to things that no longer serve you? What are your essentials? How are you going to get to where you want to be if your bag is full of things you don't need? You don't need those things. You don't need resentment. You don't need that. How's that going to get you where you want to be? It's just going to slow you down or detain you, because that stuff is very heavy. It's going to take you longer to get where you need to be. You need the light, fun, kind of fluffy stuff. The stuff that feels effervescent. The stuff that has that lightness to it, that makes us feel that we are going to soar, that makes us feel that we have the ability to fly. Those type of essentials. But then we also need the essentials of protection, right? That we could provide for our own selves. So we think, oh, this bad thing happened to me. I was vulnerable. And so this thing here happened to me. But you need that essential to protect yourself. You need to know when something's going sideways. You need to know who to trust and who not to trust. I know you're probably thinking, well, I trusted somebody in the past and this really bad thing happened to me. I trusted that person and they completely betrayed me. Or I trust that person over there and they broke my heart. I trust that person to be there for me and then they passed away and abandoned me. It is big stuff. But as long as you're harboring that and those emotions of those things that happen to you, those bad things that happen to you, it's harder to go forward. So when we have the essentials of resilience, then we could bounce back at that situation. You can't help what happens to you, but you can help what happens in you. So having that ability to bounce back and to be resilient is a great thing. Start thinking about it. What are you actually toting around with you? What do you need to eliminate? And then what do you need to do to incorporate some great things in your essential bag? What are those things? Do you need to be more of love? Do you need to be kinder? What is it? Do you need to be more compassionate? More empathetic? What is it? What are you missing? I'd like to encourage you to seek that out and ask yourself that. It's your path. It's your journey. What do you need to go forward? What is detaining you? What is holding you back? Do you actually have past traumas wrapped around your ankles and weighing you down? Maybe that's something you need to eliminate and let go of. Anything that no longer serves you and works to your benefit and your highest good, you gotta get rid of it. Then you can attract beautiful things, and there may be somebody on a parallel path right next to you going on a similar journey that you can be with and go on this journey with. You're on your path, they're on their path, you see them, but you get to have this relationship, this friendship. You get to have that. But you also going to need to be able to keep up with them too. It's all up to you. You decide how fast, or even if you're in motion at all. It all requires an action. So what is your essentials? And what are you still lacking? If you're lacking something, go get it. But probably you're going to have to eliminate something from that essentials bag that you've been toting around for however amount of years, and eliminate that and remove it so you can create space for that wonderful essential that you really need. If you need help with any of this, or trying to figure this out, or figuring out ways to do this elimination process, or to incorporate beautiful things to yourself, please reach out to me. I'm Coach Susan with Big on Results Coaching, and I care about your future, and I care that you have a great life. Until next Monday.